Officer, those chickens are attacking my mental health.
Arrest him or I'm suing the whole department. The first thing I saw when I stepped out on my porch was red and blue lights bouncing off my coop and Karen waving, her arms like she was on fire. My hens were just pecking quietly at the grass, but she pointed at them like they were loaded weapons. The taller cop looked at me over his notepad. "Sir, we got a call about illegal livestock noise complaints and possible health violations." Karen gasped like she'd been waiting for that line. "Yes, that's him. He moved in last month and turned his yard into a barn. This is an HOA community, officer. We have standards." I looked down at my old boots still dusted with straw, then back at her perfect white sneakers planted right on my property line. "Morning to you too, Karen," I said. "The chickens aren't illegal." I checked. "You don't make the rules here," she snapped. "I do. I'm the president of the HOA. I almost laughed. Almost. "We don't have an HOA, remember? They dissolved it 3 years ago. The documents are in the county records." She rolled her eyes like I was a child. "I still run the board, whether it's official or not. And the entire neighborhood agrees your little farm has to go." The shorter cop shifted his weight, eyes moving between us. "Sir, do you have any paperwork that says you're allowed to keep livestock?" "Back pocket," I said, keeping my voice even. "Same place I kept my orders overseas." Karen folded her arms. "Here we go with the veteran story again. That doesn't mean you can turn a family street into a petting zoo." I pulled out a folded paper and handed it to the officer. My hands didn't shake. Getting yelled at by one suburban tyrant was nothing compared to the things I'd already lived through. He scanned it. "This is a city permit? Backyard poultry permit," I said. 4 hens per household. No roosters.
Issued last week.
Karen snatched at the paper, but he pulled it away before she could grab it. "Ma'am, I need to read this." She jabbed a finger toward my coop. "That thing is an eyesore. It lowers property values. I already posted a notice on his door. He's in violation." The shorter cop looked up. "What notice?" "I wrote him an HOA citation," she said. "He's got 7 days to remove the chickens or he's out." I stared at her. "You wrote your own citation?" She didn't even blink. "Someone has to keep order. This was a quiet, decent street before you showed up with your farm animals and your rusty truck and your flags." My eyes flicked to the American flag hanging from my porch. The edge of it fluttered in the light wind, right behind the officer's shoulder. I saw him notice it too. "I fought for that flag," I said quietly. "And for this land I bought. I'm not moving my chickens because you're afraid of feathers." Her face flushed. "Don't get dramatic. Officer, you need to do your job. Find him, tow that truck. Do something. My kids can't even sleep with all that clucking." My hens were dead silent. The tall officer cleared his throat. "Ma'am, there's nothing in this permit that says he's in violation. And I don't see any active HOA listed here. Do you have official documents?" "Of course I do," she snapped. "At home, in my files. But you can see the sign at the entrance. It says HOA community right there." I smiled a little. "You mean the sign you screwed into the city's stop sign last week?" The shorter cop glanced at Karen. "Is that true?" She lifted her chin. "Someone had to put the sign up. The neighborhood needed order. If we don't control people like him, this place will turn into a trailer park." My jaw tightened. "Calm, stay calm. That sign isn't legal, and neither are your fake citations." She took a step toward me, pointing at my chest. "You don't belong here. You look like trouble. You bring trouble. Look, the cops had to come because of you." The taller officer stepped between us. "Ma'am, back up, please." She wasn't done. "And what about his dog? That big black one? It barked at my son. That's another violation. Aggressive breed. I wrote that up too." "You threw a rock at my dog," I said, my voice dropping. "That's why she barked." The taller cop's head snapped toward me. "She threw a rock?" "Hit the fence," I said. "I've got it on camera." For the first time, Karen's face flickered. He's lying. He probably has some fake footage. These people always fake things. The officer's pen stopped moving. "You mentioned cameras?" I nodded toward the corner of my house. A small black dome sat under the eave, blinking lazily. Full view of the yard. Audio, too. It uploads straight to the cloud. Karen tried to recover. "Whatever he has is edited. He can make it look like anything." "Ma'am," the shorter cop said, "you understand that filing a false report is a crime, right?" She stared at him like he'd just betrayed her. I'm the victim here. I called you. He's terrorizing the neighborhood with farm animals, and I know for a fact he doesn't own this place. People like him rent and then ruin everything. I met her eyes. Want to see my deed? That was the first time she stepped back. I pulled my phone out, unlocked it, and opened the county property app. I turned the screen to the officers. Paid in full. Look at the previous owner, too. The officer squinted. Says here the house used to belong to Karen Miller. I watched the color drain from her face. The shorter cop read over his shoulder. So you sold this place, then moved 3 houses down, and now you're trying to control what the new owner does on land you no longer own? Her voice came out tight. I built this street. I picked those trees. Those flower beds. I still care about how it looks. He's ruining my vision. My chickens clucked softly like they were laughing. The taller officer raised a brow. Ma'am, that doesn't give you legal authority. You can't write your own HOA notices. You can't put signs on city property. And you can't call 911 every time you don't like your neighbor's yard. Karen's eyes went shiny, but not in a sad way, more like a child who wasn't used to hearing no. So you're just going to let him turn this block into farmland? Is that it? You don't care about our community? The officer sighed. From what I see right now, he's the only one following the law. She spun on me. You think this is over? I know people at City Hall. I'll have zoning on you. Animal control. Code enforcement. You won't last a month here. I felt that old steel settle in my chest. You do what you have to do, Karen. But before you call anyone else, you might want to ask what I did before I moved here. She laughed harsh and loud. What, besides play soldier? You clean coops for a living now? I looked straight at her. For 5 years I worked with the county agriculture office. I know every zoning code in this city better than you know your own front yard. The taller officer's eyebrows lifted. The shorter one gave the smallest smile. Karen's mouth opened, but no sound came out. I stepped down from the porch, stopping just inside my property line. So go ahead. Call whoever you want, but next time you try to use fake power on my land, I'll use real rules on yours. For a moment, everything went quiet, the cops, the street, even the wind through the trees. Just the soft scratch of my chickens in the grass. The shorter officer cleared his throat. All right, here's what's happening. No citation for him. No action on the chickens. But ma'am, we're making a note on your address about repeated non-emergency calls. You abuse the system again, there'll be consequences. Her face twisted. You're all on his side. I shrugged. No one's on my side, Karen. They're on the side of the law. That's the side you keep forgetting exists. As the officers walked back toward their car, Karen stayed rooted on the sidewalk, staring at me like I'd personally stolen her crown. She hissed under her breath, just loud enough for me to hear. You have no idea who you're messing with. I reached down and let one of my hens hop into my hand. Funny, I said softly. I was thinking the same thing. Because what she didn't know yet was simple. If she wanted a war over land and rules, she'd just picked a fight with the one neighbor who knew how to turn a single complaint into her worst nightmare, and all it would take was her own yard.